Hey, Read Through the Word. Today is October 28th, and today's lesson, oh goodness, I'm not really sure what to call it. I think the way I like, hold on, let's see, because I think, watch for him. That's what I'm going to call it, because I loved the way the NLT translated that. That's from the Mark section. I'm actually going to read from Matthew 24. Start with verse 36 and, go through 44. It says this, however, no one knows the day or hour when these things will happen. Not even the angels in heaven or the Son himself. Only the Father knows. When the Son of Man returns, it will be like it was in Noah's day. In those days before the flood, the people were enjoying banquets and parties and weddings right up till the time that Noah entered his boat. People didn't realize what was going to happen until the flood came and swept them all away. That's the way it will be when the Son of Man comes. 2 men will be working together in the field. One will be taken, the other left. 2 women will be grinding flour at the mill. One will be taken, the other left. So you too must keep watch, for you don't know what day your Lord is coming. Understand this. If a homeowner knew exactly when a burglar was coming, he would keep watch and not permit his house to be broken into. You must also be ready all the time, for the Son of Man will come when least expected. Okay, so this is the Olivet Discourse. I think it's actually, so this is 24. In 2022, on this day, I think I taught on this. So if you want to pull that back up, because I was like, I think I've done the Olivet Discourse before, just sort of looking at eschatology and end times. But I want to ask you to take a look at this section with me today. Because I think now I've talked to y'all before about presuppositions. And especially if you've been in the church your whole life, or especially that, because or you've heard everything you think about end times from someone else other than like just reading it, which I've talked to y'all before about. But we we already have these ideas in our head about what the text says before we ever even read it. That's a presupposition. It's a lot of times why I like people don't want to read a book of the Bible they've read before. I'm like, why not? We read it over and over and over. I have some of my students at school, and they're like, well, I've done the book of, because I was talking to them about a book of the Bible, and they're like, well, I've read that before. And I said, yeah, we read it again. We keep going back, just like we do here at Read Through the Word. We go back and back and back and back and back. Never stop. Never stop reading through the Bible. Never stop. Keep going until this day comes. Until the day he returns. Let's talk. So we talked presupposition. Let's talk eschatology for a minute. That's a big fancy word about what you believe about the end times. Now, eschatology, I know mine has changed drastically since I actually read the Bible for myself. Because a lot of you have heard my testimony. I grew up in the church and never really read the Bible. I didn't start reading the Bible till I was in my late 20s. And what's today? Tomorrow, I will be 53 years old. And so now I've probably been in the Word. Reading it and trying to grow for 25 years. Wow, Lisa. And probably got really serious about it for the past 20 years. Oh my. So what I thought I believed about end times was one thing, because I believed I was listening to what other people said, and I thought I knew so much about all this because such and such said this, and I'd read these books and they said this. And then when I read the Bible, I'm like, what? So I'm telling you, remember, we're going to look at eschatology, but I'm going to ask you to leave your presuppositions on the table. Don't come in here getting mad at me, because this is another thing. My pastor always said this, and a lot of you heard when you get to eschatology, he said, don't miss the forest for the trees. We need to look at this with humility and understand there have been different views that are not heretical throughout the years. And I am taking you through a simple reading of the text. What does it say? Not which is the best way to read it. Don't take verses and try to make them mean what you think they mean, because I'm about to show you it might not mean what you think it means. Okay. And so put things on the side and let's just read through the text. What is the text telling us? And what is the main point of the text? Can I tell you, our concern is, like I said, watch for him. He's coming. We need to be ready. We're going to have to give an account. Even as those, as Christians, I'm going to have to give an account for every word I've said, every opportunity that the Lord's given me to glorify his name. What have I done? So I'm going to have to do it. So we need to watch for him because he's coming. Started coughing all of a sudden. I'm so sorry. Now, there are so many different things I've seen in here, and looking at this is different because the Olivet Discourse is in the Synoptic Gospels. So it's in Matthew, which is where we are today. It's in Matthew 24 and 25. It's in Mark 13, and it's in Luke 21, which is what we're looking at today. So there's different things, but in this, you see a change in Matthew. So what I just read from Matthew 24, like 36 through, I read through 44, but all the way through 51 is the same cross-reference. You can look at Luke 17, but Mark, it does not show this, because what you see is Jesus uses an example of Noah to refer to his second coming. In Noah's day, the wicked were going about with their normal lives, and they were swept away in the waters of the flood. So go back and read Genesis chapters 6 through 9. And they were swept away in the flood waters for God's judgment. Now, only Noah and his family were left behind in the safety of the ark. So here's the thing. In this account where there are two here and one is swept away and one is left behind, you typically hear, oh yeah, we're going to be taken away and other people will be left behind. Well, if we cross, Jesus is already giving us an example. He gives us the example of Noah, and we have to make a straight analogy. We have to compare apples to apples, oranges to oranges. You can't twist it. So in the days of Noah, it's the people that are the wicked are swept away, and Noah and his family are left in safety of the ark. So in the stories that we're seeing, where you have 2 here and 2 here, we always, well, I'm going to say, not we always, one of the typical ideas you hear of this is that, yes, we're going to be taken away and those people are left behind. No. That's not what Jesus is saying. Because he's cross-referencing. He's telling, look at Noah. He said, just like those who are taken will be swept away with the wicked. And so it is this idea of not preparing for that day, not preparing. There's going to be so much upheaval. All of these things are going to be happening, and then Jesus is going to show up and judge. And we need to be getting the world ready. I've talked to y'all before, and I talk to my students at school constantly about this. There's a darkness and heaviness to this world right now that I felt more than my entire life. We need to be ready for the Son of Man to come. It's this warning in our ears. Watch. He's coming. Watch. How are we responding to truth? Jesus is coming. He will judge the wicked. Have we done our part to share the gospel with people? Are we ready to give an account for our actions? Are we really ready? I mean, I am honest that I walk out my door every morning to go to work and I say, Lord, today would be a good day. I want him to return. But I also have a mission field I'm walking into every day. And just because I teach at a private Christian school doesn't mean that every student there is a Christian. And I have interactions with them. I try to help them understand the gospel. We are a covenant school, so it means these are Christian families that want their students who are already a Christian, or they want their students to be a Christian. And so I tell them every day that I live with in the forefront of my mind that he could come back today. I'm not waiting for anything else. He could come back now. Am I ready to give an account? Because I take this seriously every single day in my school, every single day in my classroom. And I look at those kids, and multiple times do I tell them, I will give an account for every moment I've had you in my classroom and every time you've sat in my seat. Of, did I glorify you, Lord? Did I explain to them the truth of the gospel? And here's the thing I take seriously here at Read Through the Word. I do not know who watches these lessons. This is just me being real with you. According to my comments, I have one person watching my lessons. I don't know. But I will give an account for everything I've taught, for every person that watches. Did I stick with Scripture? Was I faithful to the Word? Did I try to put my own ideas, or I go straight with the text? So there's many times that I'm scared to teach a lesson because I'm going to get an email. I'm going to get a message. People are going to get mad. We've got to be ready. We've got to be ready because he is coming back. We will give an account. We will be held accountable for we're not responsible for if people respond. We're responsible for what did we say. Did I tell people He's coming back, and he's coming back soon. And it's going to be a fantastic eternity. But the judgment that is coming is real. 2 will be here. 1 will be with Jesus. 1 will be judged. It's serious. And the days are growing serious. Christians, we have work to do, and we need to get moving. Know the word. Know the gospel. Share it with everyone you can. Share it. We'll see you next time on Read Through the Word.